What is up, everybody? We are here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in East Bernstein, Kentucky for the second race of the National Rock Racing Association, presented by Mickey Thompson. And today's race is brought to you by SCS Gearboxes.
That's right, guys. I'm Bree Molitor. I'm here with Matt, and we are enjoying some beautiful weather out here this weekend at Wildcat. We are ready to get things kicked off with our UTV Bounty class, and then, of course, we've got our RCV Bouncer Cup class, and then we've got our youth class that we'll be running after that as well. So lots of racing ready to go here today. I hope you guys are able to join us here on Hillside Live for as much as possible. And we've got Cooper Bentley on the line.
Already lined up, ready to go.
It's going to be a good day.
It will be a great day.
Matt, what do you think about the courses out here? I know you were up scouting on the hill.
I don't think there's anything super crazy difficult today for the bouncers. I said we've seen the side-by-side yesterday, quite a bit of those side-by-side guys playing on it. I don't think there's anything that's a lot. Most of the guys have been racing here on this exact same course for years. I don't think we're going to see anything today that really trips people up crazy. But again, once you put that race word in front of it, things get real crazy real fast. So some of the downhill sections, they're undercut, so you're going to have to keep your momentum there. Again, some of the dirt hills, all those dirt ledges, I think you might see guys have to kind of pause a little bit just to make sure. They were studying it quite a bit this morning, making sure they're making the turns in the right areas, because we have to come down a few and make a right-hand turn or left-hand turn. Obviously, the hills are a lot of fun to play on, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun today.
Yeah, these courses look like a lot of fun. I know I wouldn't be sad if I had a little something out here to drive around in, but that's all right. Next best thing is getting to watch everybody else enjoy and get their need for speed taken care of today. So, and you said we've raced out here a lot, and it's really dry this weekend, so that definitely makes a difference. But we did see a few sneaky kind of obstacles that ended up with a couple rollovers yesterday that we weren't expecting. It definitely was not an obvious tricky spot. So, anything can happen when you're racing. Like you said, you take a course and you add that race mode to it, and that changes a lot of things. Get that adrenaline going and see what happens.
Again, like you said, we saw a couple of guys come up that lip and just not land just right for our Skinny Pedal Award. So, again, shout out to Jonathan Shepard for Skinny Pedal Fab for helping out with that. And obviously, you guys will see those awards later. They're very, very cool. It's just a giant medallion on a chain. Very, very
we'll
cool.
We'll pull it back out later. We did announce our winner from Windrock's race. The Skinny Pedal Award will go to Clayton Smith. He had a pretty wild ride. We had a few of them at Windrock, but he's who you guys voted for. Yeah. So we've got a couple Skinny Pedal nominees for this weekend already from yesterday, and we'll see who else we add to the list today. Oh man, we are just minutes away from getting started here. I know Cooper is
chomping at the bit. I'm sure
chomping at the bit on that race line starting gate.
Again, we got side-by-sides with the Bounty Series kicking us off this morning, and then later on we'll have Bouncers. And then between the Bouncers and the second course, we're going to do both of our youth races, so that'll be a lot of fun. I know those guys are also chomping at the bit, too.
Oh, yeah. They're probably playing in the dirt right now, but they're going to be ready to go later.
Yeah. Our youth class is definitely awesome to watch. Again, very cool to see some of our younger racers because we all have been there, wanting to do that. So definitely super adorable. And shout out to Justin Holback for definitely making that all possible.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Here we go to the line.
Might have been a girl. I don't know. CB Racing.
So if you are a bit newer to the series and the classes that we run here, our UTV Bounty class, which Cooper Bentley is starting off for us right now, is going to be running the same exact course that the big bouncers will be running today. So we have multiple UTV classes to try and give a little something for everybody, different levels of commitment and involvement and skill and what you want to put yourself into. So our Bounty class definitely pushes these guys and gals. We got Madison King often in this class as well. Definitely pushes them to the limit, and we make it, pretty much as tough as possible. I mean, we don't call it Bounty for nothing.
Again, making quick work of that uphill and downhill section. Again, going right back up. Those are some gnarly ledges, and you really have to keep your momentum going and then kind of let the front end fall because you don't want to launch out the top too much. Getting that rock section there, taking some abuse. kind of ripping through the woods there. And then this is not a super crazy ledge here, especially for the UTVs. They're a little bit more narrow than some of our big bouncers. We saw our UTV Cup Series come down this yesterday.
All right, I think once he turns and is heading back up the hill is when we're going to see some interesting things on this course.
Again, watching those whoops through that woods there. Turn and head to the finish line. Again, nothing too crazy. Again, I don't think you're going to see too much crazy. Again, that was Cooper Bentley.
95.038. That was our very first run of the day out here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in East Bernstadt, Kentucky. If you guys are joining us here on Hillside Live, go ahead and head over to that Rock Racing TV Facebook page for us. That way we've got everybody in one spot. We can see your comments and answer questions. That's where Matt and I are watching from. So if you're watching from another page, we will never know. And we want to know. We want to hang out with you guys. So come on over and join us on the Rock Racing TV page. All right, Clay Kaysen on the line now. Clay had a second place finish in the Cup class yesterday and a first place in the stock class.
Wow. He went to that far right side and headed up the little brush there. Again, it's pretty wide open at the bottom of that course. Again, there's several long lanes they have to choose from so they can kind of pick where they go. Obviously, you have to stay in between the flags, but again, this is Clay Kaysen, his brother Cody. This had his senior prom this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Clay was filling in for Cody yesterday in the stock class.
Oh, man. I think he must have popped out of gear. No.
Uh-oh.
Dang it.
That is not going to help his chances of winning.
Yeah, the way he took off, I think he must have maybe lost low because he was still able to go forward, but it wasn't moving near as aggressively.
Bad news for Clay.
Oh, man.
Man, had a great run going.
Well, hey, he's already been on the podium twice this weekend, so, you know, a little consolation there. I'm sure we'll get him up here telling us about it.
I have no doubt.
Clay is one of our regular guest commentators here on Hillside Live. You guys have probably heard him up here with us before. You'll notice we've definitely got some long courses laid out this weekend, a lot of ups and downs, and hopefully all the drivers were doing their homework and studying the course maps that Clyde sent out. I know I saw Brandon Davis last night. We did like a fish fry and you know, around all the RVs, everyone's hanging out, and Brandon had his map pulled up on his phone, you know, studying the course for today.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what you got to do to be prepared.
And again, Brandon running, you know, several different classes.
Yeah.
He really has to study the courses. So, again, we have a lot of UTV drivers that do, you know, Cup Series or Stock Class, and they also do the Bounty Series. So, again, seeing several different courses in a weekend can definitely confuse you. But
Austin Connell out on the course now. The great thing about having this whole area at Wildcat is how spectator-friendly it is.
Yeah.
Everybody can get set up out here in their spot and be comfortable and be able to see everything, be at a safe distance, and then we've got lots of options for all of our different classes for the drivers out here too. So really great setup out here that we enjoy at Wildcat. Austin, Cooper, and Clay all raced with us yesterday, and we're late entries to Bounty this morning. So I'm sure that we're waiting to make sure everything held together after the Cup class
and I was going to say the exact same thing. I think you're 100% there. They got to make sure the rig stays together.
Either that or somebody was applying some peer pressure this morning to get them signed up.
That could be as well. amongst the fellas, I'm sure there's some camaraderie there, some teasing. So.
Oh, I heard some little side betting going on last night, hanging out the Davis and the Heckley camp.
Yeah.
Man, Austin got to the same spot as Clay. They lose belt.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Dang it.
You know, and this is actually one of our tamer bounty courses that we've had.
It really is.
You know what? That just goes to show you never know what's going to happen in a race. Everything might seem pretty cut and dried, but you never know. Well, so far we have had one completion for our UTV Bounty class. That was Cooper Bentley with a 95.038. We've got an awesome crowd of spectators already out here this morning. Do we have a crowd shot, Taylor? Do we have a crowd shot?
Wow. Packed it on the hills out there. Again,
they're still rolling in.
They are. Again, early in the morning, and a lot of people had to work, so make that overnight trip or got up early this morning and headed down here. Again, this is kind of like that amphitheater, a lot like Dyersburg, where there really isn't a bad seat in the house. You know, again, you can see them kind of like yesterday. You said they were all lined up perfectly.
Yeah, they did pretty well parking themselves.
It's great to see. Again, that spectator area is quite a ways back from the race area, so it's nice and safe for everyone.
Yep. Beautiful day out here. This is pretty much perfect weather to enjoy a race in. Not too hot, not too cold.
It really
is.
It's
not even too dusty now.
It is, yeah. Again, hopefully the bouncers don't chew it up too much, but again, I think there's some like a little bit wetter sand underneath. So
we got Dowler Motorsports checking in. Says Double D in the orange highlighter. Definitely can't miss that buggy. Dylan did a great job yesterday and took home the win in our UTV Cup class. I'll go ahead and give you guys a rundown on our podiums from yesterday's classes, just in case you missed it. Yesterday we ran our UTV stock class, and Clay Kaysen won that for his brother Cody. And then we had Daniel Heckley in second place and Brandon Davis in third. Then in our VIN class, we had Don Curtis in that top spot, followed by Charles Carriss and then Justin Hoback. And our UTV Cup class, Dylan Dowler took home the win, followed by Clay Kaysen and then Casey Howell. Those are your podiums from yesterday's racing. Do we have any predictions for today? We've got 3 classes running. We've got UTV Bounty, the Bouncers, and our youth class. I want to hear who you guys think is going to be in the top spot in all 3 of those classes. We got several of you tuning in right now on Rock Racing TV. Let me know what you guys think. We're watching Austin Connell get recovered off the course right now. You know what? Now might be a good time to share from a message from some fans that we have all the way from Israel this weekend.
Wow.
So some of you might have heard before, but we have a fan named Amir from Israel who is such a huge fan of Bobby Tanner and Screamin' Blue that he built his own replica of Screamin' Blue in Israel. And he's actually here at Wildcat in Kentucky this weekend with a few friends. And one of them asked me to share something that his son wrote, and his son wasn't able to come. He's in Israel this weekend, so I'm going to share a message from our friends and fans back in Israel right now. And he says, first of all, I'd like to thank you for arranging this amazing event. We're sure it will be full of thrilling challenges and adventure. It is our greatest pleasure to be a part of this event. Everything you've done and continue on doing cannot be expressed enough with words. We are longtime followers and watchers, and we're glad to finally be able to see this in person. We will try our best to come back again in the future, regardless of our challenges. Back home at the Holy Land, this sport exists on a much smaller scale. We're trying to copy you as much as possible, but we're still far off. I wish the competitors the best of luck, and I'm sure they'll deliver us the adrenaline rush we always strived for and received through your videos. But this time, it's going to be much different, much more robust. Thank you all.
That is incredible.
That was from Kisar in Israel. And I hope you guys enjoy, just like we do, getting to, recognize how far the fan base for the sport of rock racing has spread and has grown over the years. So much so that we've even got a Screaming Blue replica in Israel. We've got fans all over the world that tune in regularly with us here on Hillside Live. So that was just a message from them. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to hear a little bit from them.
All right, looks like they got Austin Connell cleared up. Next contestant, victim/racer, DC Thompson.
All right, DC Thompson is on the line. Let's see if we can get another finish here in the Bounty class. Oh, no. What is happening today?
Dang it.
Even Clyde's over here saying, you got to be kidding me.
This has been crazy today.
This is getting a little ridiculous.
This is one of our easiest bounty courses that I've seen in a
really
while,
is.
quite honestly, compared especially to like Windrock or one where,
yeah.
a lot of guys don't even complete the first course because it's so hard.
It really is.
I don't know what's going on this morning. Clyde, I thought this was going to be an easy course for them.
They can't even get to the hard part.
Yeah.
Man.
Clyde's over here saying they can't even get to the hard part. Another belt bites the dust.
That's crazy.
Huh. Well, it does go to show that these machines get pushed to the limit.
They really do.
Race after race. All these guys already raced yesterday in the Cup class, so these buggies are not coming out here fresh by any means. And mechanics, stuff goes wrong. And you can only push it so far.
And again, with breaking belts, like you can't necessarily
predict that.
A belt can last a day, a week, a month,
Yeah.
a year. You never know how long a belt's going to last, and obviously there can some of that can change. So
yeah, the wear and tear on these vehicles out here is it's legit. They get put through the ringer.
They really do. Again,
push to the limit.
Yeah, they really do get pushed to the limit again, and especially with belts. I know we talk a lot about belts on here. A lot of these buggies are belt driven, and you really don't know how long that belt's. It's like U-joints. U-joint can fail on a drive shaft, or even an axle shaft. You can race it 300 races, or you could race it 3 races and break. So it just depends on, every race is different. So looks like Keith is pulling through our race line starting gate up here.
All right, I asked you guys for your predictions for the classes. We got Ryan Edwards that said TC, Clint Garrison, and Daniel Heckley top 3 for, I'm going to assume, bouncer class. Yeah, none of them are in Bounty. I was thinking Cup class.
Yeah.
We saw them race yesterday already.
Yeah.
They kind of run together after a while when we got some of these guys racing 2 and even 3 of our UTV classes.
It really does. And again, then you throw guys like Cooper Bentley who races side by side and bouncer,
and
like
Brandon and Daniel J.
Yeah. It's
like, wait a second, what list are we talking about
yeah.
here?
And again, those guys keeping the track course, the course set. You have so many different maps to look at. Some you're going uphill, the next day you're going downhill. So
I think that's a pretty solid lineup there from Ryan, TC, Clint, and Daniel Heckley. And then Mary Carroll says the girls for the win in the youth class. We had an all-female podium at Windrock. That was fun to see. Boys are going to have to step it up a little bit. What do you guys think for UTV Bounty? So far, Cooper Bentley is the only one that's completed the course out of our 4 drivers. We still got it. Let's see. We got about 5 more left. So let's see. Nathaniel Bell, Josh Krapinski, Casey Howell, Robert Trainer, and Derek Schaefer are still on my list here. And then, of course, Cooper had that time of a 95. Who do you think is going to come out on top for UTV Bounty today? All right, Nathaniel Bell is on the line.
Right now we have
Again, I like his wrap. Very cool looking. Again, we talked yesterday about all the new chassis we got to see. So we had 4 or 5 new guys racing with us. And you can see a lot of the guys are pushing really hard up those downhill sections. Again, we have guys kind of checking up a little bit more on the downhill versus the uphill, pushing really hard on the uphill. See our recovery crew as well as some of our rescue experts up there.
Yes, big thank you, as always, to our volunteer recovery crews that are so quick on their feet and always ready to assist our drivers, to our EMS and fire crews that are also ready to go, hanging out on the hill, and our pit team for helping us keep everybody doing our safety checklists, checking that safety requirements on the starting line, helping us keep everybody lined up and moving along here.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't do it without all of those guys. Things are looking pretty good for Nathaniel at this point.
Nice smooth run going. Oh. Whoa, wow. Launching off that ledge.
He said, I'm not getting hung up on this rock. Get me out of here. There we go. 102.572 from Nathaniel Bell. Cooper Bentley still in the lead with a 95. We've got Josh Krapinski on the line now. David Uptain says the real winner today will be Ultimax belts.
That's true. That's true.
Ryan, this course does look fun. I was thinking that yesterday. I was like, man, this is just one where there's nothing super crazy or rowdy in it. You know, it's just a nice, long, fun course where you can really do some driving.
next contestant after they clear the course up.
Unless you blow a belt.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, look at that. He's showing off for you, ladies.
Yeah, again. DC Thompson hitching a ride.
The buggy looks funny. The driver looked left. He was a little cockeyed.
Where DC's buggy? Oh, it's over there.
He's like, it's good.
Good job.
Luckily they have
he abandoned ship.
Yeah, luckily they have a few hours to get it changed over.
Roughneck himself.
Chase says, good luck, Colby Reich and the 8-Up Racing crew.
Again, that's one of our local guys.
Colby was our featured driver for yesterday's Featured Driver Friday.
Got Josh Krapinski taking off the line.
Josh is doing triple duty this weekend. He raced stock and cup and now the bounty class. He's getting his money's worth.
He is definitely getting his money's worth.
Hey, if you're here and the buggy's still running, might as well. Got a little time till the next race. Speaking of the next race, April 12th and 13th, we will be at Hot Springs, Arkansas. That's always a good one. That park has a lot of really great trails and riding as well that we like to enjoy after a day of racing. So if y'all are able and somewhat in that area, come check it out. And if you can't make it to that one, then you can go to nationalrockracing.com and find our schedule of events for the rest of the season. Hopefully find one close enough to home that you can come out and enjoy in person.
And speaking of rock racing, again, we appreciate everybody tuning in today on Rock Racing TV Facebook page. You can also watch it on our Rock Racing TV YouTube page as well. So if you're on your TV, a lot of TVs have the YouTube app on them now, the smart TVs, so you can turn on YouTube and watch the Rock Racing TV race on your big screen.
We're also on Speed Sport today.
Heck yeah.
So you guys have lots of options to check it out. You can even, if you got a smart TV, you can do Facebook Watch on there and pull us up that way if you got the TV playing in the shop or something.
Yeah.
But if you want us to see your comments and answer your questions, you got to come to the Rock Racing TV Facebook page. 109.423 for Josh Krapinski.
Wow.
All right, at this point, at least we have a podium.
We do. Again, we had weird breakages. I didn't think those weren't the guys that I thought would normally break again.
No, Clay and Austin and DC.
Belts and U-joints, and it's always simple stuff. We always make the joke about the $2 bolt,
Yep. Looks like Casey Howell on the line. Nathaniel Bell won the Bounty race at Windrock at our season opener. And he's in second place right now time-wise. So, we'll see if he can pull off again this weekend.
Tell you what, Casey's on a tear.
Looking pretty good for Casey right now.
Fast enough to take first right now if he can keep it up.
Oh, no.
I might jinx him.
He had such a good run going.
He did. And again, it looked like he was going to be able to put it back on all fours. Unfortunately, not quite. Again, we saw Matt do that yesterday, as several other Josh Krapinski.
Man, that's one of those where it's just over so fast.
It is. And again,
barely have time to
luckily
react.
with a UTV, you get usually 2 or 3 drivers. We had about 10 there, but usually a couple guys can throw it right back over, and that's why the drivers, the UTVs, typically don't get out of the vehicles. They can just throw it right there. All right, we're going to cut to a replay real quick with Rock Racing TV. Again, right there, just took a little bit of a bounce with that undercut. I mean, a really short rollover, too.
Yeah, there wasn't much he could do about that.
But again, you can see that undercut area there.
The good news is he still has round 2. Nothing's broke. We've got Robert Trainer in that race line starting gate now.
That's half of the Trainer family that will be racing this weekend.
Team Trainer.
Yes.
No, he was on there. I'm going to pull a page from Matt's comment book here and say that is a nice looking color.
It is. That purple
on
really
that chassis
really shines. And again, that is a super tight turn. I love this drone shot because it shows how tight that corner is. And again, you get to see a little bit of some of the guys are kind of going up farther. Normally, they would try to cut that really tight. Guys are going up farther and trying to whip the buggy around, kind of drift a little bit up there, and then come right back down. Because the farther you make that turn, the more crazy it becomes on the outside edge with those big ledges there. We were walking it this morning, and again, just seeing that, how gnarly it was there.
Missed his turn just a little bit, but that's all right.
All right, settle down and climb it.
Easy now.
That'll get it done, son. What goes up must come down.
It looks like Robert just walked right up those ledges, but just trust us.
Yes.
As always.
Yes, they are gnarly.
It's steeper and more difficult in person than it looks on camera.
You got to keep going.
in the home stretch.
Wow. Zipping through that finish line. 1:21.036, Mr. Robert Trainer.
Cooper Bentley still solidly in the lead with that 95. Cooper was our first one out the gate today, and he set the bar high.
Looks like Nathan King's pulling up there, that 01 wrapped. We haven't heard the horn in a while. Says Dad's down there with his Rock Racing TV vest on. Got the headset on, ready to go.
Nathan is running for his sister Madison's points.
Okay. Again, we saw Nathan tear that buggy up quite a bit yesterday. They had a clutch, they had a drive shaft, a U-joint, I think some splines or a yoke or something.
I can't believe that thing is sitting on the starting line right now.
It was. I asked him last night, are we going to get the other? And he said he's going. And Nathan was running to get parts. And he said, well, we'll see. Nate's going to get parts. So
I wonder if they got any sleep.
Yeah, probably not.
Who needs that?
Yeah, sleep.
The adrenaline will carry him through enough this morning, and then he can crash this afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, uh-oh. Come on.
Careful.
He might be giving Cooper a little run for his money.
What's up, Colton Holback?
Backup might have cost him just a little bit.
Colton Holback tuning in with us on the live feed on Rock Racing TV. Again, the King family does a lot of racing with us throughout the weekend. Again, they definitely worked the overtime. As Bree said, they probably didn't get much sleep last night.
Let's see what he got.
Wow.
107.660 for Nathan King.
All
that
right.
looks like a third place time currently. Cooper Bentley still solidly in the lead with that 95. He made this course look easy. All right, guys, we are going to cut to a quick commercial, and then we'll be back with your top three from Course 1.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica-reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
What is up, everybody? We are back here at Wildcat Off-Road Park for the second race of the National Rock Racing Association, presented by Mickey Thompson. And today's race is brought to you by SCS Gearbox. We have some wonderful weather. And Bree, why don't you give us a rundown of those top three?
Yeah, before we head into our bouncer class, let's get that. We'll go top 5 for UTV Bounty, since that's how many finishers we had.
Okay.
Cooper Bentley took the top spot with a 95, followed by Nathaniel Bell with a 102. Nathan King with a 107, Josh Kopinski with a 109, and Robert Trainer with a 121. Those are your top 5 from round 1 for our UTV Bounty class, and that means it's time to head into the RCV Bouncer Cup class. Round 1, we've got Ethan Martin sitting on the line ready to kick things off for us. Nat, are you ready to hear some horsepower?
I'm ready. Again, I don't think this is going to be a super crazy day, but every time I think that, it gets real wild.
Every time we think it.
we saw our Bounty series had some really crazy failures, so again, that might transition to the Bouncer as well, but we will find out here shortly. So
we've got a few names on the list that we haven't seen out here in a while. That's always exciting to have them come back and join the fun with us.
Yeah.
And we've also got a couple new names too, so it's going to be a great day of racing here. We are at Wildcat Off-Road Park in East Bernstein, Kentucky. Thank you guys for joining us on Hillside Live. Like I said, we ran round 1 for our UTV Bounty class already. Getting ready to go into round 1 in just a minute for the Bouncers. And then after we come back from a short break, we'll have our youth class run as well, and then do round 2 for Bounty and Bouncers.
Yeah, again, we just kicked off today. Like I said, we've all got the Bounty series out of the way. We were just starting Bouncer. This is our very first Bouncer to leave the line here at our second race of the season. Sitting in that starting race line starting gate. Ethan Martin, that clean-looking green and black rig up there. His side-by-side was tunnel vision. I guess you could call it the same thing. Again, they do tunnels for trains, so it was very adequately named tunnel vision. Again, absolutely ripping off that starting line.
Gotta love the sound of that horsepower echoing in the Kentucky hills out here at Wildcat. Been a little while since we had Ethan Martin and the old Plowboy rig out here with us. Glad to see him back out here. That thing is one tough machine. I called it Screaming Green several years ago. I'm not sure if that's what Ethan still calls it or not, but either way. Love seeing that buggy out here.
Again, we talked a little bit this morning about guys picking those lines. Again, pausing to make sure they're A, going the right way, and B, making sure they're taking the fastest and safest course. Using that rear steer to get lined up.
You know, it's never easy being the first one out the gate either. Luckily for Ethan, he just got to watch the Bounty class, the UTVs, run this same course. So that helps a little bit when you can get an idea of the course in your head, because they are pretty long out here at Wildcat this weekend, and a lot of ups and downs and turns. We're making the most out of this hillside that we've got out here to make a whole collection of courses for all of our 6 classes that are running this weekend. Very spectator friendly. We've got an awesome crowd out here today. We had yesterday as well, enjoying some beautiful weather. There you can see the spectators have a great view. There's not a bad place in the house this weekend.
There really isn't.
They've got a nice, safe area, good distance away, but everything is easy to see. Great setup out here at Wildcat. Ethan making his way through the finish line.
Quick time. We'll see what his time is going to be. 119.659. We have it our first official time. What do you guys think our times are going to be like today? Again, that's essentially 120 seconds. The next guy sitting on line, Mr. Tim Cameron.
Well, you better make your predictions real quick, because we're about to see one of the fastest runs of the day.
Yes. So, who's going to beat that? And if so, what's going to be the fastest time of the day?
So Tim Cameron took home the win at Winrock for our season opener a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Timmy is no stranger to being on the podium. And if you've been around the sport of rock racing for more than a few minutes, you've heard his name, you've seen his videos.
You're very familiar with this guy.
He's definitely got his driving style dialed in with years of seat time.
Yes, very iconic as well. Again, safe yet fast. Wow. He's very continuously like to keep going, making that forward progress.
Timmy is really good at finding the line on the hill.
Yes.
and being able to, I guess, just visualize, what's going to be the fastest and smoothest. And I'm often surprised because it's not the obvious route. But Timmy's just got a talent for finding the line on the hill.
Being able to read that course is again, so insanely, you pick up a few seconds here, a few seconds there, and that leads to that number one run. Definitely pays off in the end. Again, Mr. Consistent has definitely done very well. Using that rear steer all over the course today.
All right, let's see how that bar is going to be set.
Wow.
89.387 for Tim Cameron. All right, the bar is set high.
Yeah.
It's set pretty high.
Mr. Chad Molitor guessed 105, and even Timmy beat those expectations. So, yeah, wow. James Cantrell, what's up, buddy? Robin tuning in from Monticello. What's up, Robin? Ryan Edwards, what's up? Yeah, traction out here definitely going to be insane today, I think.
There's one of two options for Wildcat. It's either incredibly muddy or it's dry and dusty.
Yes.
And we got the dry and dusty this weekend, which we are okay with. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm sure the drivers are okay with a little extra traction, too.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Grigg ripping through the course right now.
Again, he added a little power of this here recently with putting an LSA supercharger on there. Definitely will increase that power. I mean, you're almost going to double it by slapping a supercharger on top of a motor. So, had a good run in LS before, but put an LSA on top of there. So definitely going to add some power. Again, the downhill sections where it doesn't really matter how much power you have. Again, being that smooth is fast type situation, we see a lot of desert guys talking about. If you can get there and keep the buggy going, keep your momentum rolling. Oh, a little squirrely. Again, some of those drop-ins are just crazy.
Oh! No! Oh. Is he going to Bobby Tanner it? Oh, he's turtled.
I think the ruts up there are going to keep him from, unfortunately.
Oh, man. Chris has been working hard to get this wide-open design buggy dialed in and get that. It always takes some time to get the bugs worked out, get the kinks worked out, and get used to a buggy when you're, you need that seat time to get comfortable in it and stuff. So, hate to see that for him, but doesn't look like anything would have been broken from that.
Yeah.
So he's,
hopefully he can
still got round
put
two.
her back on there.
We got the thumbs up. Chris is good. They'll get him back on all fours. Let's go to a quick replay presented by Rock Racing TV.
Man.
Speaking of traction.
That's a great point.
This is one of those instances where it's not your friend, and there's also, you guys can probably see, and it's even more apparent in person, as always, that the ruts out here they're deep, and they're everywhere, all over the course. So that definitely comes into play, picking the line and being aware of, how your tires are going to go into the ruts. And we saw that happen, yesterday in our UTV classes. We saw a few rollovers, and, anything can happen out here on these hills.
Yeah, again, I've been subject to those ruts.
They just grab you sometimes.
They do.
We got Robin watching from Lawrenceburg. Go Reclaimed Racing. Heidi's tuning in with us. What's up, everybody? Looks like Chad Molitor had a little trouble finding the right page, so that's a good point. A reminder, you guys go to the Rock Racing TV Facebook page. It's not the group. You need to go to the broadcast and entertainment page. It should be pretty obvious once you get on there.
Yeah.
If you're in the group or not. It says your group on Facebook, when you're looking for those choices.
Yeah.
So. And you'll be able to see that red ring around the profile picture that indicates that we're live. So look for those things when you're typing in Rock Racing TV. And we want you guys to all come on over here and join us on this page so we can see your comments and answer your questions. You could also watch from the Rock Racing TV YouTube channel, and we are also broadcasting on Speed Sport channel today. So you guys have some options. But if you got some questions or comments you want Matt and I to see, make sure you come on over to that Rock Racing TV Facebook page.
Adam Coons tuning in. James Cantrell says, hey, guys, watching from work today. Again, we love to hear that when guys are, I'm sure he's probably sitting in an excavator somewhere with a phone propped up as he's working. He said that, Timmy Cameron is unreal good, and it really is. Again, and James Cantrell's a guy who's probably raced a side-by-side against Timmy before, and definitely James has done stuff at Hammers, and I've seen him take a Cherokee and put it into flight at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park.
Things that no other Cherokee has done before.
Yes, put it flight at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park. Again, definitely a heck of a racer, so I'm sure if he's saying Timmy's good, again, he's a great guy to chat about that.
Kenneth, Ethan's time was a 119.659. Where are you at today, Kenneth Cozine? All right, so speaking of Timmy, that time that he laid down was an 89.387. That's going to be tough to beat, y'all. Let me give you a rundown of the rest of our drivers list. We've got Trent Ratcliff on the line, and then Daniel Heckley, Nick Wright, Clint Garrison, Cooper Bentley, Jay Stortz, Josh Parrish, Matt Holt, Billy Homan, Brandon Davis, Mark Carpenter, Clayton Smith, Daniel Bowman, Colby Reich, Richard Hodges, Johnny Gibbs, and Jack Porter. Going to be a good day of racing. You guys think we're going to see anybody beat that 89 from Timmy? Kenneth, you've been sneaky this morning then. You're at the starting line. I didn't even see you. Thanks for helping out, sir. Thank you, as always, to all of our recovery crew, our pit teams, everyone that helps us keep our drivers safe and our show moving smoothly out here. It takes a village to put on an event like this, and we definitely appreciate everybody that helps us make it happen.
Wow.
Trent Ratcliff and the old smoked out buggy.
Coming out the starting gate full tilt.
We saw Trent put on a bit of a show at Windrock, giving it all he could on that first hill. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, no.
There we go. I said, might have bumped it in neutral or slipped a gear or something.
Oh, no.
Something doesn't seem right there. They were talking about... Okay. Sounds like a throttle stick, and that's not good.
I think a torch converter stopped skeeting and geeting on you there, big boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Maybe have a rock stuck in there. I've seen rocks land behind the throttle stop, and it won't let it come back. And I mean, like, even just a little pebble. It was, I don't remember who it was. Justin Wills, somebody, they actually took a picture of it stuck behind the throttle stop.
Man, you just never know. Well, this is a good time to mention then that all of our drivers have on their buggy what is called an RII box, or remote ignition interrupter, and that is something that enables one of our course workers that has the remote to remotely shut off a buggy in the event of something like a stuck throttle, where, for safety reasons, we need to have control and be able to turn that off. It's just like they do in Monster Jam.
Yeah, oh, yes.
So we tested all of those this morning. We had all the bouncers start up and then shut them all off by remote. So in case you guys have ever wondered, that is one of the safety features that we utilize out here at the NRRA events.
I think, I think he tried to come down and something's not working right there.
Hey, you did part
So this is not the kind of hill you want to come down with a stuck throttle.
Yeah.
We did shut him down. We'll help him get recovered off the course. Safety is always our priority out here. Of course, we want everybody to have fun and get to race and have their run. You know, everyone puts in a lot of time and effort and energy to get to the events, and obviously want them to have every chance to complete their race. But safety is always top priority. Man, tough break for Trent, though. We'll see if they can get it figured out and get him back for round 2. He's got plenty of time. We are going to,
and it could be something like I've seen
it could
little,
be a simple fix. You never know.
Little tiny, and there's so much dirt. We talked about lots of traction. That traction is coming from dirt and sand. Again, just a little clump of something in there can really make the difference between what that day is going to go like. So. Again, could be something, a very simple fix. A connector came undone, who knows? And now vehicles are getting so electronic, a bad ground wire, So it could be a very simple fix, and hopefully he can get back out there racing later today.
He's got some time to work on it. We will run after we still have lots of drivers to go for round 1 right now, and then we'll take a quick break, our intermission, but then we'll be back with round 2, both rounds for our UTV youth class, and round 2 for UTV Bounty, before we will move into round 2 for the bouncers. So anybody that breaks in our bouncer class right now, they've got some time.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a chance, a shot to be back for round 2.
Plenty of repair time. And great weather. We were talking about the weather earlier when we panned that crowd shot. Again, it's like 65 and sunny with a perfect little breeze. So today is perfect weather. If you do have to work on something, at least you're not doing it in the pouring down rain. I think they might just be letting them roll down the hill. Again, that's a super steep hill, so rolling down, not too bad of a deal. Tunnel Vision Racing tuning in. Speaking of Ethan Martin, that may be his better half. Kenneth Cozine on there at the starting line. I don't think we're too far from Kenneth either. We got drivers over here spectating and watching and talking and.
You know what? It's probably fixed. Just keep going. You got this. What happened? I broke high gear.
Yeah. Broke high gear, is that what he said?
Yeah. Asked Clay Kaysen what happened.
Yep.
In his run for UTV Bounty, and he lost high gear.
High gear. Okay, I was thinking it was the exact opposite. I was thinking he broke low gear. So.
Yeah, we had some unexpected carnage in the Bounty class.
We have. And again, we've seen some bouncers here with just kind of weird.
Right, let's do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a rollover from Chris Grigg, and now we've got Trent Ratcliff working his way down the hill. Were you guys able to tune in and hear the message from our Israeli fans this morning? We had a little bit of a break earlier, so I read a message. We've got some fans from Israel that are here this weekend at Wildcat to spectate, and also one of them is such a fan of Bobby Tanner and Screaming Blue that he built his own replica of Screaming Blue in Israel. So they are trying to build up something similar over there.
Yeah.
And they're here today and hanging out. And I had a message from one of the guys that's in Israel that he wanted to share with us and the rest of the
Very
fans.
cool. Yeah.
So, man, it is so cool to see how far the love of rock racing has spread over the years and how the sport has grown. I just think that's so cool.
Wow.
Daniel Heckley on the course.
We talk about high horsepower buggies. This is one of the biggest out there on the course today. Again, absolutely ripping out there. Letting that big block sing. There, using that rear steer to whip around again. We talked about cutting that corner really tight. Some of the drivers that don't have rear steer are going to just seem way out there. And again, taking his time on the downhill sections. You want to be quick, but at the same time, you also want to be smooth.
You want to have some semblance of control. Looking really good for Daniel
Looking
right
great.
now. This is a TC-built buggy, if you guys aren't familiar. Or you might be thinking it looks familiar, and that's because it is Hell-Bent, one of Timmy's old buggies. I saw a video of Timmy doing a little testing and tuning on it for Daniel.
Yeah.
Maybe last week or something.
Yeah,
I saw
get
that
some
posted.
stuff dialed in there.
Launching it down the hill. Wonder what kind of side bet
I could only
Daniel
imagine.
and Brandon have going on.
I can only imagine.
Usually it's something fun.
Especially at this park specifically, Wildcat specifically, I've seen them have some pretty interesting side
Somebody
bets.
had to get a haircut one time.
Yeah.
When they lost the bet.
9.8.084. I mean, not too far behind Timmy right now.
It's not bad. That's a second place time right now. But we've got a pretty big lineup still to go.
Oh, yeah. Got Mike. We got Nick Reich.
You're close.
Yeah, he built the chassis. Nick Reich pulling up there in Fordzilla. Again, he did some motor swap stuff this offseason. Went from an iron block to an aluminum block. Cut out a few 100 pounds. Added some power.
Nick comes all the way from Wisconsin as well
drive
for the races.
And he usually drives near me, so I like to whine about, whatever my drive is, I have to add 5 hours for Nick, so.
That's some dedication right there. We got Randall Key watching online. What's up, Randall? Wish you were out here with us today. Wade Good's watching. Stephanie is watching in Florida with the family. And we've got Cliff in North Carolina. Thanks for tuning in with us here on Hillside Live. Nick was out here on the hill doing a little testing yesterday evening after we were done racing for the day. And he did roll over.
Yeah.
So hopefully what that means is now he knows what not to do in one of the hill sections there.
Using that rear steer to whip around there.
Hey, that's what practice is for, right?
Oh, yeah. And he even said, he's like, is there bad juju on these hills? I'm like, no, you're fine. You got this.
Definitely a very capable buggy. Old Fordzilla.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Wade Good said, good luck, everyone. Had to leave this morning. Baby time.
Oh.
So Wade was here goofing around, and that Fordzilla buggy just doing work out there.
One of just a couple of Ford-powered buggies out here this weekend. Oh. It's one way to get lined up for your turn. Well, I think those practice labs paid off last night for Nick. Nice, smooth run. Let's see what his time is. All right. 9.8.387. Wow. Daniel Heckley had a 9.8.0. Nick Reich just put down a 9.8.3. Matt, how do they do it?
It's 0.3 of a second difference on these times. So, again,
and these are long courses.
Having a time that close is just absolutely insane.
Tim Cameron still in the lead with an 89, then followed by Daniel Heckley with a 98.0, and now Nick Reich with a 98.3. I think we've got Clint Garrison on the line.
Looks like Clint Garrison rolling up to the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Clint is one of our drivers that I feel, we use the word consistent, and I think that that really applies to him. He's always he can be relied upon to lay down a smooth, fast run. I don't really think of him as someone that rides that ragged edge, or gets out of control, but he's always got these great smooth runs. So we'll see what Clint brings to the table today.
Again, just keeping it kind of, like you said, smooth and consistent, trying to get on that podium. We've seen him on the podium at a bouncer before. Again, that's great rig. Denny Smith used to race it. Definitely an amazing rig, and they've done some awesome stuff with it. So, getting with it, getting rowdy. Again, a lot of the guys are going to try to push hard, climbing up these hills. Again, taking your time going down, being safe, being smart. And yet keeping a smooth road going, I think, is where you're really going to see it.
You might notice everybody kind of checking up and easing into that turn to go over those boulders. Probably doesn't look like too much on camera. You might be wondering why they're slowing down so much, but it's a very off-camber downhill turn. And you know these guys don't want to roll over right before the finish line.
1:04.019. Not a bad time for Clint Garrison. Speaking of Bentleys, got Emma Bentley tuning in online.
We've got Cooper Bentley on the line. Cooper already had the fastest time on the hill today in the UTV Bounty class.
So do you think that was like practice run, or?
I mean, it's definitely not going to hurt anything. Cooper raced hard at Windrock as well and was able to pull off a second place finish for our season opener a couple weeks ago.
Whoa! Literally riding a wheelie.
Drive.
That is impressive.
It's been really fun to watch Cooper go from the UTV class and move into the bouncers this season. And he's still racing in the UTV Bounty as well.
Ooh. Seeing some of these rigs getting a little spicy there.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought it shut off. Come on, Cooper.
Again, these ledges are so steep. You want to kind of clear them, but you don't want to clear them by too much.
It can be hard to find the right balance when you're going up a whole hill full of ledges one after the other. These kind of stair steps between, you want to make it up the top and not get hung up on any of them, not get your belly stuck on anything, but you don't want to just be rearing up, in the air either.
Yeah. Wow, ripping through that finish line.
98.627. Wow. That is our third time in the 98s right now. We've got Daniel Heckley with a 98.0, Nick Reich with a 98.3, and now Cooper Bentley with a 98.6.
That's crazy.
How do they do it? We don't know, but we like watching it.
It is super cool to see that close of a time, you know.
Tim Cameron's still in the lead with an 89, and then Daniel, Nick, Cooper, Clint Garrison, and Ethan Martin.
Come on, baby. Take over. He's going for that big box this weekend.
Forward play, kicked it off the line.
Speaking of our Ford-powered vehicles, our other representative, Jay Stort's out here in Ford play.
Man, if he ever gets to LS, these guys better watch out.
Zach being ornery.
Jay Stort's raced in the UTV stock class yesterday as well. Had a little bit of a little bobble.
But you know what?
Some of those ruts he was victim to.
Yeah.
As a few of our drivers were.
They're so violent. They're such a violent rut, too. That's the thing that's crazy is I broke a tie rod just crossing one of them one time at a moderate pace. So, like, they're so violent. Again, they're so firm. It's such a hard packed.
Maybe that's just the best Ford's got. I don't know. He's still going.
If you guys are just tuning in with us, welcome to Hillside Live. We've got Jay Stort's out on the course right now. We're about halfway through our list of drivers for round 1 of the RCV Bouncer Cup class. This is race number 2 of the National Rock Racing Association, presented by Mickey Thompson. This weekend is brought to us by SCS Gearbox. You're hanging out with Bree and Matt. Oh, what a finish for Jay Stort's. 119.499 for Jay Stort's. That is our second 119. I don't know how these guys keep doing it, but Ethan Martin had a 119.6. Jay Stort's just put down a 119.4.
That's crazy.
All right, here's someone I'm excited to see. Josh Parrish on the starting line right now. We've seen Josh out here racing with us a few times, but usually it's on behalf of Randall Key in the Undertaker buggy. We've got Josh out here in his own bouncer this weekend. He said he's got to shake the dust off. It's been a little while since it's been out.
Well, he had called me right before we did the drawing, and he said, I'm on the list. I said, yeah, you're on the list. He said, when we got off the phone, I wasn't sure what buggy he was racing. So I was like, he's racing something.
Josh, definitely a very capable driver. And you know what? For him to have driven Undertaker, which if you're not familiar, Randall Key is one of our OG drivers, and he drives completely with hand controls.
Yeah.
So that's what Josh was doing whenever he would drive Undertaker for Randall. So I think that's pretty impressive in and of itself.
Pop the clutch. It's fine.
All right, it's all downhill from here.
It really is. It really is. And again, downhill where you can see some guys shave a little bit of time. Again, we saw Timmy Cameron's fire run earlier at that 89. I mean, we have some guys, I think, that could pass that, and we're about halfway through the field, so we'll see what it's going to be.
All right, Josh, bring it on home. $126.949 for Josh Parrish. Matt.
Yeah.
Who's up next on the list?
So
you got something you want to share with us?
You do see my buggy on the line. However,
I see that, but you're over here. So what's going on?
My good buddy Justin Wills' his buggy doesn't have a motor yet. So I said, I'm a nice guy. I'll let you drive it. So
is that's the story you're sticking to?
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It's going to be great.
We're excited. So usually it's my lovely co-host Matt Holt out there piloting that buggy.
It's so funny because you do see the pink and purple in there as well. So it goes right around with that theme.
Well, let's see what Justin Wills is going to do with it.
Again, it's a super smooth course, so I don't see it having too much issue. Again, obviously breakage can be what they are, so... Again, watching that tight corner, again, you want to see them hug as tight as they can to that inside.
Has Justin ever driven this buggy before?
No.
Nope. Has he ever even sat in it before?
Maybe. Maybe. He's never driven it before, though. But I have seen him drive several buggies pretty insanely.
Oh, yeah, he can definitely handle it. Are you nervous, Matt?
No. Justin's a great guy. I've broke that buggy in every way imaginable.
This is true.
So there is nothing. I've broke tie rods. I broke axles. I broke drive shafts. I've blown up motors. I've broke transmissions.
There's nothing that Justin can do to it that you haven't already.
Yeah, there's nothing that Justin can do to that buggy that I have not done already many, many times over. So, again, there is nothing that he can do to that.
Well, what's he doing? Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Come on, go, baby, go. And this, you got to just kind of pin it to win it. Again, I've climbed all of these hills in that buggy last year, so I'm not super worried about the buggy. Again, just obviously durability can be tested anytime you're racing. So
anytime.
It's kind of very...
Mary Carroll says you have it broke in for Justin. Nice and broken
I love that. It's nice and broke in for Justin.
I've ever seen him do. I am so proud.
Oh, my goodness.
All of a sudden, he must have been training or something. Matt is freaking awesome.
I tell you, Zach is being honoring.
Hey, you're not the only one with a stunt double out here this weekend. Cody Kaysen had 2 stunt doubles yesterday for him. Madison has 1 racing for her today.
So he did what Timmy Cameron did yesterday, and I talked to Timmy, and he said that he did plan on making that left-hand turn right there.
His axle broke?
Well, yeah, his axle broke, which was ended up being locking up. So, again, that left-hand turn is what he had planned on.
Through the finish line.
All right.
Let's see what time you got, Matt.
Yeah. 169.078 for Matt Holt, a.k.a. Justin Wills. The buggy looked great, though. Look good.
Does look good. Got a fresh wrap on there this season.
It does.
Justin's helmet and fire suit even match your color scheme.
That pink looks great. Our drone guy goes, hey, good job, Matt. I was like, thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Hey, I climbed both hills last year.
And increased his driving by at least 300%.
Yeah. What's funny? Last year I climbed both hills, and Justin Wills didn't climb.
Did.
And Justin Wills didn't climb either.
Well, maybe y'all should swap buggies more often.
You ain't never hit nothing. You could have done that.
Justin Wills raced for me, so that was a good time.
We've got Billy Holman out on the course now. This is Billy's second race ever. His first one was with us at Windrock for our season opener a few weeks ago. He calls this buggy Old Benny Boy. He said it used to be a hammered buggy.
Yes, I got to talk to him this morning, And
almost nailed it.
He said it's pronounced Justin Homan. He said, like, "Ho man." I said, okay, I'm writing that down. And yeah, it was the old hammer buggy. I got to hang out with him a little bit this morning and chat with him on the hill, and it was a good time.
Yeah, we always love having new competitors come out and join the fun. You know what? And to tackle Windrock as your very first race ever.
That's a pretty gnarly course.
And, man, it was muddy. It was slick. It was not an easy first race, you know.
Yeah.
So glad to see that he obviously enjoyed it enough to come back for some more. Putting old Benny Boy to the test out here right now.
Uh-oh. Motor come on, Crump.
Great looking buggy.
Hey, recrank
I
it.
think it shut off.
Kick started or something.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Man. Had a great run going.
The hands of frustration.
Yes.
When they get thrown up in the air,
it's true.
You know it's not good.
It's so true. That's kind of like the international sign for it's not working anymore. Like, man, and you hate to see that.
That's the what the heck?
Yeah.
What's happening?
And that's like a look of like disgust, frustration, kind of disappointment, you know. But at the same time, he did get some racing in. So, and again, like you said, we have several hours between the first course and the second course, depending on where you fall at. He has plenty of time to go over there. Hopefully, it's a simple fix. I had a fuse one time rattle out of my fuse breaker and shut off my whole right bank of the fuel injectors.
Nice.
Pretty easy fix. You just push it back in. Problem solved. Which, again, you didn't know until you get towed off. You start, get your multimeter out, start checking. So we got 12 volts and, we checked our fuel pressure first, had great fuel pressure, and then we realized it was just the fuse had rattled out. That's good times.
Man. Well, we are going to get Billy recovered off the hill. And while they are helping him with that, we're going to step away real quick for a few commercials, and we'll be right back with much more Rock Bouncing action here at Wildcat.
These people had one thing in common. They knew they had it in themselves. They knew they could be something beyond where they were. They were willing to put their time, their energies to better themselves. And it's very important to surround yourself with people who are better than you are. You are going to move in the direction of the people you associate with. Look for the people that actually are examples to you. I've never seen a business, and I've seen a lot of businesses, but I've never seen one that delights the customer, that doesn't succeed. You long forget about the price, but you never forget when you had a good experience. I will remember how I was treated when I bought it. What you want?
No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
What is up, everybody? We are back here at Wildcat Off-Road Park. We have Brandon Davis, our current season champion, sitting in that race line starting gate. This is the second race, the National Rock Racing Association. Presented by Mickey Thompson. Today is brought to you by SCS Transfer Cases. Again, Brandon, obviously an IFS buggy is going to soak up some of these hills, but his buggy does sit a little bit lower, so that's kind of the downside. Hopefully he can use that IFS suspension and put this on the podium today.
Brandon did a lot of work to Menace during the off-season and got this buggy looking sharp, working hard. we call Brandon Mr. Consistency because he is not only a consistent driver in his style, but also consistently on the podium.
He is. Again, that IFS buggy definitely doing some work today. All these rock ledges, I think it's really going to kind of sail up.
He also raced in the UTV Stock and Cup classes yesterday in his Can-Am. So he's getting his fill of the courses this weekend.
Taking that far left lane, kind of running through some of that brush, but again, able to shave that corner a little bit, pick up some time there, kind of that TC advantage we talked a little bit about. Oh, and jumping off that ledge. It sounds so quiet when he's not revving it.
It's like a panther.
It really is.
Sneaking up on him.
Again, this is Taylor's favorite bouncer.
Oh, no! He took out a flag, and that is a 30-second penalty.
Dang it. Smoking time. Being that it's an outside flag? Oh, Clyde said with the flag. Man.
With the flag penalty, that's a 127.238 for Brandon Davis. Oh, man, and that was a great run, too.
Smoke and run.
That does give us an opportunity to talk about the flag penalties. For those of you that are newer to the series and sport and are wondering about that, if a flag gets knocked over, a buggy can brush it. If your tire brushes it, then that's okay. But if it gets knocked over, as it did just now with Brandon, then it is a 30-second penalty. And there's a couple reasons that we have the flags out there and have that penalty. One of them is to make sure that everyone is running as much of the same course as possible so that no one's, finding a shortcut or cutting course in any way, finding a little bit of a loophole. We want it to be as fair and as much of the same course as possible. So at the key points, out there on the course, we've got those flags to keep everyone where they need to be. And it's also often for the driver's safety, if there might be an obstacle on course, maybe like a stump or a rock or something that, can't be changed, or for spectator safety. At some parks, we use the flags to make sure drivers know this is a place you need to check up. You can't, come too wide or something like that. So there's several reasons that we've got the flags out there and why there is a penalty for knocking them down.
And that is a good point because we have some very creative drivers, Bree.
That's one word for it.
So they like to get very creative with the course and definitely try to be very creative as possible.
Try to cut a couple corners, maybe.
No. I think creative is a great word.
Creative, yeah.
They try to be very creative with the word, They're calculated in their.
You gotta do what you can to find the line and shave the time off.
It really is, and again, a lot of times we see not so much today, but there is a lot of times an easy line, and there's a fast line. But that fast line, you may roll over, you may break, so it does end up being faster. And again, those gambles sometimes paid off. At Windrock.
Mark Carpenter out on the course now.
Got a new wrap on that buggy.
Yeah.
I love it. We saw him yesterday in the side-by-side.
Oh, no. How many buggies have pulled up on this hill now between UTV Bounty and the Bouncers?
And had an issue. Hopefully it's something simple can get fixed. On the course is still a finish race. And again, buggy sounded great coming out of that race line starting gate.
Well, if you're going to name your bouncer bipolar, you might have to expect a few random
full tilt
problems out of it.
Full tilt to shut off. I think it's two opposites. So,
oh man.
Y'all work on these things in your off time? You just come out here and hope it goes? What's the deal?
Okay. Tommy Mullins was on YouTube saying he was going to make it here, but something happened to the Razors, so now he's just watching live on YouTube. So we appreciate all our fans throwing the YouTube app on their smart TV and watching from home. I mean, we love all our fans out here, but it's if you can just make it to the couch, that's a good time too. Again, we have a packed out crowd here today.
We do have an awesome group of spectators out here at Wildcat. If you guys have just tuned in recently, welcome to Hillside Live. You're hanging out with Bree and Matt on here. We are at Wildcat Off-Road Park in East Bernstadt, Kentucky for round 2 of the Mickey Thompson NRRA. This weekend brought to us by SCS Gearbox. We are a little over halfway through round 1 in the RCV Bouncer Cup class. We already finished round 1 for the UTV Bounty class. We'll take our quick break in between, and then when we come back, it'll be our UTV Youth class, which is always fun to watch. So hope you guys are able to stick with us here on Hillside Live today and continue to enjoy all the racing action. One of the great things that we enjoy about all the different parks that we race at. You know, we talked about how Wildcat is so spectator friendly, and most of the parks that we go to, we're able to set up in that way. But the terrain is different in all these parks that we go to. We go as far east as West Virginia in the series this year, and as far west as Oklahoma. And everything in between, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, you know, we've got 10 events and they're all at a different park. So getting to utilize the different terrain and the different aspects of the parks that we go to is always fun to keep the drivers on their toes. You know, we've got a lot of up and down on the hills out here at Wildcat today. Let's see, when we go to West Virginia, it's a lot of rock. A lot of rock out there. Yeah. And let's see, where else are we going? We had a lot of mud at Windrock for our season opener a couple weeks ago. A lot of mud, lots of mud.
I'm still cleaning my buggy.
And we've got the dry dirt out here today with that extra traction. When we go to Rush Springs in Missouri, there's a little bit of actually like a short course that we get to kind of include. We get to do a hill climb and a short course as part of the track for the drivers. So all these parks have different kind of like personalities to them, and we get to utilize that in putting the courses together. So it keeps things from getting too boring out here, which I don't think it could ever be boring when you've got horsepower out, you know, to enjoy. But keeps the drivers on their toes and keeps them from getting too comfortable with one only style of racing or terrain.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You might have your rocky hill climb. You might be slinging mud. They're going to continue getting Mark Carpenter recovered off the hill. So we're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with much more here at Wildcat Off-Road Park.
Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
All right, we are back. We have that reclaimed racing team sitting in the starting gate. Again, we are at Wildcat Off-Road Park for the second race of the National Rock Racing Association, presented by Mickey Thompson and brought to you by SCS Gearbox.
That's Clayton Smith out on the course right now. Fun fact, Clayton actually won our Skinny Pedal Award from our season opener at Windrock for the wild ride that he had out there.
And again, what a heck of an award that is. Again, shout out to Jonathan Shepard and Skinny Pedal Fabrication for those awards. Again, an absolutely incredible job he did. Last year it was a giant play button. This year it's a wicked awesome charm.
We'll try and pull that up here to show you guys at some point during the show today. And Clayton will be receiving that later when we do our podium awards. I'm sure he's hoping for a little bit more of a smooth run today, though. No more Skinny Pedal nominations for Clayton.
They're like insurance or a winch. You want to have a good one, but you don't want to use it, you know. Again, using insurance is never a good thing.
Clayton's been racing with us since last season, and we can definitely tell that seat time is making him more and more comfortable in the buggy. And this is quite a buggy
it is.
Learn to handle.
An absolute monster. Get a little bit lower center of gravity. You can see it kind of hanging up on some of those bigger ledges. Again, like as Bree said, it is all downhill from here. Except for Little Rock, but that's okay.
Minor detail.
Minor details. Again, after that, I think one big rock is no problem for these guys.
That's a little wide. There you go. You back it up. That's all you really want right there. Said no one ever.
Looks like a good smooth run from Clayton Smith.
Heck yeah. Ripping through that finish line.
.122.076.
And again, right behind him is the other half of that Reclaim Racing team.
Yeah, I wonder how they managed that.
Who draws these numbers?
Who does that? It's Matt. Matt draws the numbers.
It's me. And I drew number 2 for myself. I was like, man, if I'm going to start cheating, I need to do it better for me. Like, give me a later number, you know?
So this is Daniel Bowman, as Matt said, the other half of the Reclaimed Racing team. Dan is Clayton's father-in-law.
Yes. Again, they do a great job racing. Again, those new red rims look really sharp on there.
Looking for the big box this weekend.
Wrap looks great.
Let's see if he can.
This is another TC-built buggy out here. You might recognize it as Tyrant.
Again, in a very, very quick chassis. Built similar to like more of an Ultra 4 style car.
So far, so good.
What a difference for Dan Bowman from racing here at Wildcat last year. What did he tell you, Matt?
He raced at Windrock, and he said, and it really made my heart special. It just made me feel, because we've all been new at something. We're all not sure how to go and where to go and what to do. We're all new to the experience of something. I don't care whether
everybody is a beginner at some point.
I don't care whether it's dancing, salsa dancing, or learning a foreign language. We've all started something and not had a clue what we're doing. And he said, I am so happy to be here. He said, I don't care if I'm just making turns, using my turn signals. I'm going to have a great day. Unfortunately, didn't get very far, and then literally 12 months later at that exact same race, he's on the podium.
So this was last year at Windrock. He's, saying he might be using his turn signals, but oh well. And now look at him go.
Yes, and now he's out there thrashing and ended up on the podium at the same park he started at, which I think was super neat. And again, those Reclaim Racing guys are just super cool to hang out with.
No! Wait.
No. Oh, come on. There we go! Yes! Yes. Yes.
Hey, see that seat time sharpens those reflexes.
It is. Heck yeah.
Good save.
That is awesome. Heck yeah, buddy. And again, I think we got our first Skinny Pedal nominee there.
I think we do for today.
Yeah.
My kill box. My reset button in. It expired. Sorry.
And the crowd goes wild for like a third place, fourth place run.
What did you say, 121?
121.017.
017, okay. I wasn't sure if it was 100. Was it 121 or 41? But it looked like a pretty quick time. So
yeah, that's a 121.017 for Dan Bowman with the rollover.
With the rollover. All right, we got a replay we're going to throw to, presented by Rock Racing TV. Again, you can see him coming down, making that you're coming down a hill and you have to turn and go back up a hill. And we've seen some guys and just caught the edge of that rock, tipped him over a little bit, and you could see he tried everything to recover. Luckily, he had enough momentum to put it back on all 4 tires and take off, and was able to get at least get a finish out of that. So, again, and not a pretty respectable time, too.
So when I mentioned earlier that you guys were probably noticing how the drivers were checking up and getting squared up for that, coming over that rock and making that turn, that's exactly why.
Yep.
Downhill, off-camber turns, and immediately going up a boulder.
Yeah, a boulder.
Can make for a sticky situation.
It really can. Sticky, Mickey Thompson. Well played, Bree. I see your play on words there. Well played, sir. Well played. I tip my hat to you. Well played.
Thank you. Colby Reich on the starting line with 8 Up Racing. He was our featured driver for yesterday's Featured Driver Friday.
Well played. That's good. I'm glad we started doing that. That was a great idea, Bree. Again, and I love doing it because we have so many drivers who have such cool merch. And again, since he is our current Rookie of the Year, it's super awesome to see out there doing stuff. So really cool to see. And again, Colby, one of his goals last year was to make all 10 races, and luckily ended up winning one. By making that commitment at Talk Pride. He said a couple guys had some wild rides, and luckily he was able to capitalize on that and put himself on that top spot of the podium, and it was really neat. And obviously that was great, and again helped him push him to that Rookie of the Year. So,
well, he's not a rookie anymore now. We'll see what he does out here at Wildcat. I think it was 3 years ago here at Wildcat when I first saw Colby out here on the hills, and when his involvement was kind of beginning with rock racing. And this is his second season racing in the 8 Up buggy.
And again, he said he made some changes in the offseason. Chris from Diddy's Big Block was here doing some shock. I don't know if it's shock tuning. They kind of looked the buggy over and did some stuff with it. And Colby said he had some questions for Chris to kind of check everything over. Ripping out of that race line starting gate there.
Colby.
And just drifting around the corner. Kind of just skimming some of these hills. Again, we talked a little bit about this morning about you're going to see some of these guys really pushing uphill. Again, where they can kind of make up some time is coming down the hills. Oh, man, he's got a flat. I know Brandon Davis pulled off with a flat a little bit ago, so I think we're going to have a couple guys with some tires. Again, being able to push that hard around, so. Those are some monster ledges there.
Well, that tire's hanging on for dear life. Come on, Colby.
Go, baby, go. Again, watching that rig just bouncing all around as he's ripping up that hill. The drone just eating dust. Shout out to all our drone operators this weekend, giving us these awesome aerial shots.
There you go. Man, that flat tire doesn't seem to be
it doesn't.
Slowing him down.
Uphill or downhill.
All right, that's a
127.440 for Colby Reich. Tim Cameron still solidly in the lead with an 89, followed by Daniel Heckley with a 98.0, Nick Reich with a 98.3, and Cooper Bentley with a 98.6. Some extremely tight racing out here today. We also have two drivers that are at a 119. We got a 119.4 and a 119.6.
Again, Richard Hodgins sitting in that race line starting gate as Colby pulls through with that flat tire. I was trying to look at the rim and see if he had bent the rim. I think the rim is okay. So hopefully they can just get the – I'm sure he has a spare tire rim they'll just swap out. But I don't think he damaged the rim coming down. It looked like it was – because a lot of times you can see guys, they're dropping in hard. You can see him kind of taco it. So it looked like the rim was okay. I think he just had a flat. So got Richard Hodgins sitting in the race line starting gate. He did some he had a test rig for the first race of the season because he was waiting on some axle shafts, but he finally got some in, and he is ready to roar.
I believe he calls this buggy Wild Card.
Okay, I like that.
If I remember correctly.
Ooh, jumping outside. Oh, using that rear steer, I tell you. Again, you can see a lot of guys hooking that corner hard. Again, it gets pretty gnarly over to that far right side. Me and Timmy were talking about that this morning as we were walking the course.
Did you give Timmy some pointers?
No, he was actually giving me some.
What? No way.
Surprise, surprise. He was saying, you might want to walk up there because that's a really sharp turn. He said, you're going to have to cut it real wide. He in fact, was right.
Tim was right? No way.
He, in fact, was correct.
No, Richard. Oh.
Dang it.
Dang it, Richard.
Stink.
Sorry, that was my Tommy Boy reference.
Yes. Dang it, Richard. Yeah, he's like, what'd you do?
Oh, no.
Man, that stinks. Again, you hate to see that. Had a great run going. Again,
another one hits the ruts.
I'm sure it's true.
And bites the dust.
Yes. Yeah. Again, you hate to see that. Man.
That's Johnny. He will go full retard.
Again, these buggies take a little bit more than a couple guys to get flipped back over. All right, we're going to get our replay on here with Rock Racing TV. Oh, just barely came over a little bit. Dang it. Okay. Dang it. And it lightly just came real close to that passenger side there. But, again, we talked about those ruts this morning, and you had said several times they can throw you a bounce you right, bounce you left, and, you know, kind of just hanging on for the ride at that point.
I see we've got Clint Evans tuning in here. Jake Pike's watching. What's up, guys?
It's a good time. Again, we love all our people tuning in from Rock Racing TV on Facebook, but we also have Rock Racing TV on YouTube you can tune into as well if you got your smart TV. I know a lot of TVs nowadays have the app, so you know, it's pretty cool to watch. Again, like I said, they'll get a truck up there and get that flip back over. I see a lot of guys, but there's Keith there in the frame. I say I don't know if they get that flip back over with just the fellas. Those are a little heavier buggies, especially looks like it's going uphill this time too. It's a little bit heavier.
We've got our recovery experts. What are they yelling over there?
I don't know. I just hear them all cheering something on.
All the drivers at the starting line are yelling something. Shout out and big thank you, as always, to all of our recovery crew and volunteers and our fire and EMS teams to keep everybody safe, keep everything moving as it should on a race day. And so all of our wonderful sponsors for helping us make these events happen.
I'm not like smiling at you to be funny. I was like leaning in to try to get out of the sun to see you from the glare of my sunglasses.
It is a little bright right now.
It is, but you know what? This is beautiful weather.
All right, we'll take it.
On this Easter weekend, I am just so happy to be out here again. We have a packed-out crowd, tons of fans. It's awesome to see. Again, you could not ask for better weather right now. Perfect little light breeze, keep the dust down. I think all the racers were pretty stoked, especially after our last one was just so much mud. It was so nice to be at a race without mud for once, you know. So we appreciate that. And we have tons of more racing action coming your way here at Wildcat Off-Road Park, but we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right after these messages.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT, No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerply XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
We are back here at Wildcat Off-Road Park for the second race of the National Rock Racing Association, and that is just a beautiful, beautiful shot. Again,
what a crowd.
Tons of spectators just packing in on this beautiful day here in Kentucky, eastern Kentucky. We love it. Again, not too far from Richmond where I went to college, so make sure I pick up some Ale 8 on the way home.
Matt's been dreaming about this Ale 8.
I have. It's good stuff. All my Kentucky people are with me. They'll definitely appreciate that. All right. Again, this is the second race of the National Rock Racing Association, presented by Mickey Thompson, and today's race is brought to you by SCS Gearboxes. All the guys are running those because they're pretty indestructible. Came out of the pulling tractor world, so give them a call.
Johnny Gibbs out on the course now.
Johnny Gibbs in his brand new chassis built by Jake Pike.
The second Jake Pike chassis that we've seen out here now today. Let's see what he can do with it.
What's up, Cody?
I saw Jake Pike tuning in here.
Yeah?
Not too long ago.
Cody said Nick and the Ford Zoe ran a good run on maple syrup and cheese curds. I love some cheese curds, bro. I love some cheese curds.
You can't go wrong with some good old Wisconsin cheese curds.
You can't. Get some Culver's. Culver's has some fire cheese curds. With this new chassis, he seems pretty comfortable in it. We heard him start it up last night as he was pulling in, and that thing has a monster motor in it. And he somehow fits this buggy into the back of his toy hauler. I was very concerned for that toy hauler because usually they're made for like side-by-sides and golf carts. So when he opens the door and there's a full tilt bouncer in there, I was like, well played.
Well, it's got that distinctive the Jake Pike design where it's minimal, especially in the back end.
It really is.
There's no wasted space on there.
Again, you see those aluminum arms on the top there. Whoa! Oh, no! Reverse! I mean, still on all four wheels. We're still good. I don't know if I was trying to see if he flattened a tire or see if the rear steer is going good. Looks like he's steering straight.
He's good. Going
to make a little bit of a wide turn here and hopefully set him up right for that.
Oh, he is in the worst of the rut out there, though.
Set it for that big boulder. It looks like all the tires are still turning. All still have air in them.
It's going to take more than a little brush with a tree to take this guy out. He's having a little trouble making those right turns, it seems like, though.
Ripping through the finish line. 147, 140, 529. 140, 529 for Johnny Gibbs. All right, we got a replay here. We'll present by Rock Racing TV. as he's coming down, launched down and just barely caught the edge of that tree. I think it hit more to the side, but Luck was able to kind of spin that rear end around and get it straightened back up. Yeah, Jake Pike. Gibbs getting some seat time. Yeah, definitely good. Shout out to my boy Jake Pike. Midwest Welding Institute. He always had that MWI sticker on there.
All right, we saved one of the best for last.
Yes.
Our buddy Jack Porter.
Mr. Jack Attack himself.
About to unleash a Jack Attack on these hills in the Venom buggy.
Yeah, he's running those Mickey Thompson stickies as well, those Baja Pro X's. I saw him doing some neutral drops in the last race, just absolutely sending it.
Venom's definitely a bouncer that's been around a while now at this point.
It has. And
it's a classic.
It is. It has been cut and edited and chopped and moved around and wow. Broke the pinion and had to re-weld some trusses back together after the last race. He was sending it pretty hard. He was neutral dropping that sucker pretty aggressively.
Windrock was tough.
It was tough on a lot of rigs. Go, baby, go! Wow. Launching out the top.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah! Again, those ledges, they literally shoot you straight up. So you almost have to kind of, no, baby. You almost
going vertical.
He is. Yeah. You have to kind of send it, but you don't want to send it too much, otherwise it'll just launch you into the air. So there's a very fine line of sendages, as you would say.
And then you'll be inverted.
Yes, you will.
Once you pass vertical.
You want that?
We don't want that.
You want that moderate send, as Bree would say.
Yeah,
you know?
A nice moderate. You got your full send. You got your moderate send.
Go, baby, go. Get that Venom buggy up there to work. I run a Venom shifter in my buggy as well. Shout out to Venom shifters. They do a great job. Again, it's a gateless shifter. A lot of side-by-sides run them.
Those things are handy.
They are really handy. Again, gateless, that we can go from reverse to drive.
And you can drive like Bobby Tanner.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever drive like Bobby Tanner. Okay, that guy, I think he drives with like one eye squinting sometimes. I've seen him do stuff in a vehicle that I didn't think was physically or, defied the law of physics. Again, we've seen a couple guys come around and make that left-hand loop after Timmy did it in the side-by-side yesterday.
Sometimes that's the best way to get yourself oriented right and keep your momentum at the same time.
167.093 for Mr. Jack Attack Porter. I do see another buggy pulling the line. Do we have somebody breaking the beams or attempting the course?
This is Mark Carpenter.
Okay.
I believe.
All right, that was a 167.093. 167.093. Venom. We're going to run again because the RRTV, some of our safety features malfunctioned, but I think he got it fixed. He only made it to that first little bunny hop wheel anyway, so hopefully he'll do better this time. Mark Carpenter in bipolar.
All right, so you might be thinking you're having a little deja vu right now because we have seen Mark Carpenter out on the course already. His buggy cut off. We weren't sure why. And because it was due to the RI box, which is a required safety feature, malfunctioning, he's obviously going to get to go again.
Yeah.
So this is his
and Ultra 4 has
real
similar
run.
Yeah, Ultra 4 has similar rules. If you see something that's a safety issue, stop. A lot of times they can go with trackers with the Ultra 4 cars, and if you ever see a safety issue, you can stop and help a driver or figure something out, and they'll give that corrected time back to you later.
Yeah. This is looking a little more like what we were expecting to see from Mark today.
Oh, no!
Oh, my gosh. I spoke way too soon.
Uh-oh. He's hammering on it. Oh, man.
Oh.
I think he's in those
I don't think
ruts.
that motor's going to be happy.
No, but...
Oh, man,
dang
but
it.
he is trying.
He tried everything to get that back. The crowd is cheering him on.
Oh, man. You know, I've only seen that work one time, Matt.
And only one guy.
And it was Bobby Tanner. Oh, man, that's not an easy.
It really is not.
Not an easy thing to do, but man, heck of a try from Mark Carpenter. He had a great run going. You know what though? He got himself a Skinny Pedal nomination.
He did. All right, we got a replay real quick of Mark Carpenter here, presented by Rock Racing TV. Again, just came over a little too far, bounced a little bit in that rut, and again tried to recover. Was just not quite able to get it flipped back over on all fours. Dang it. And again, he tried. He was giving it everything he had. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get it done. He did, too. He just hammered down on it. Again, just...
We're listening to some radio chatter in the headset. We may have one more driver.
Okay.
Let's see if he pulls up to the line here.
Cody said, I feel like Wade Good did that sometime back. He put on its side at Dyersburg.
Yep.
And I say its side. He, in my opinion, was 100% 90 degrees. Okay.
Yeah.
And was still able to cut the wheel hard enough
out of it
and bring it back down. It was
Bobby's the only one I can remember that ever was actively rolled over.
Yes, and put it back on it. Yeah.
And like a beetle on its back.
Just flipped over.
It was just spinning around like a monster truck out there.
At Dyersburg, I saw him flip it over, get it back on off the wheels, flip it over again, put it back on off the wheels, and then finish the course.
Yep, that's the one.
And I'm like, holy cow. The guy's like a magician.
Looks like they got Mark back on all fours now. We will get him shortly recovered off the course. Find out if we've got our one last driver to go or not.
I see Justin Will sitting up there. I'm sorry, Justin Hoback sitting on the starting gate. I'm not sure if he's watching to see if he has to do some recovery work.
Should we go ahead and do a top 5 rundown? Let's do that while we've got a moment here.
Go ahead, Bree. Give us that rundown.
So, top spot for round 1 of the RCV Bouncer Cup class is Tim Cameron with that absolutely smoking time of an 89, followed by Daniel Heckley with a 98.0, Nick Reich with a 98.3, Cooper Bentley with a 98.6, and then Clint Garrison rounding out the top 5 with a 104. So some super insane tight racing today. We had multiple drivers, be within tenths and hundredths of a second of each other.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, especially on a course, that's this long. It's not just a straight up hill kill.
It really is to see, again, those like third, fourth, and fifth driver there. All were like the third driver to race, the fourth driver race, we're all within 6/10. We had like 3 drivers within 6/10 of each other. It's crazy to see that long of a course, and just do that, have that type of racing with that long of a course.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can pull that off again, and if Timmy can pull it off again for round 2. Taylor, how long are we shutting down for?
All right.
All right, we will be back live in 15 minutes with our UTV youth class, and then we'll be back for round 2 of UTV Bounty, and then, of course, rounding it all out with the Bouncer. So y'all don't go too far. We'll be back shortly. Thanks for watching.